If you can fool all people some of the time, that's enough to get you elected. Hello, boys and girls. Lord Hawkeye here again. Oh boy, the last video's comments were pretty entertaining. I've never seen so many people so passionate about telling me I have no free will. Oh, it's just priceless. Anyways, some kind of on that note, though not really. I wanted to talk about labels. Now, mislabeling other people's not nice, but I find a lot more often people mislabel themselves. What do I mean by that? Well, let's see. Let's start with the religious, just for the heck of it. They say that they're Christian, they believe in the Bible, and all that sort of thing. But when you try and bring up some things like, well, what about all the mass murdering, the rape, all that other bad stuff in there? They say, oh, that doesn't count. Says, well, you just said you're a Christian, you believe the Bible's real. What do you mean that doesn't count? It's in the Bible, isn't it? And that's what I try to tell the religious, even if I can't get them to consider atheism, is all the stuff in the Bible, all the evil, all the killing, all the other things like that. If that really doesn't sound like you, if you really don't agree with that, well then, why call yourself a Christian? Because, by definition, that's what a Christian is, someone who does believe in that sort of thing. And it's the same thing with all the other religions out there. I mean, as horrible as some of the as some of the fanatics out there are, I at least give them props for being true to themselves, at least in some regards. They're never completely true to themselves. But, let's see, and it's the same thing with all the nihilists and determinists out there who really got ticked at me for disagreeing with them. And that's just completely inconsistent with what they say. I mean, determinists say the universe is totally scripted, so really, why get upset? Why get upset at me? I'm just following the script, aren't I? And when they try and say it's fact, well, it's to be expected. Me, as a skeptic, I'm going to say, okay, show me the script. And when they can't do that, I say, well, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. And same thing with the nihilists. If they really believe in nihilism, then they'll accept that my position is equally valid because they say themselves there's no such thing as an objectively preferable behavior or a thing like that. So there you go. If you're really a nihilist or a determinist, you really won't care what I have to say about it, because either you believe I'm just acting as the universe's script says so, or that my position is equal to yours because there are no superior ones. And there you go. And I think the other reason I found given for nihilism is they say that morality was preached by the church, therefore it's wrong. Well, I certainly agree that their methodology for determining morality was completely ridiculous, and, well, there was mainly because there was no methodology at all. It was just, we said so and that's it. But that doesn't mean that morality itself is invalid. I mean, their methodology for determining the origin of life was completely ridiculous, but that doesn't mean the origin of life is thus invalid. That's just silly. So I think it's a case of trying a little too hard to distance yourself from the church to the point that, you distance yourself from everything without even considering, did it have any merit to it? So bottom line, whatever the labels you put on yourself, make sure they fit. If they don't fit, well, don't use them. Otherwise, it just looks like you're putting a label on to make friends or fit in or something like that. And some people may say, well, and yeah, that's a bit of the scary thing about atheism and anarchy and stuff like that, is when you get rid of when you stop believing in nonsense, you really find out who your friends are. Because I have to say, it's scary to think that some friends might abandon you because you no longer believe in the same dogma they do. But I have to tell you this: anyone who would abandon you for something like that is not your friend. I mean, life is just way too short to waste on people like that. So it's scary to apply more appropriate labels, but I think it's necessary to keep a clear view of how the world works. So, all you religious people out there, if you don't actually believe in every word of the Bible, why call you? Don't identify yourself as that, because it does you a disservice. If anything, you could maybe make a case for deism or something like that. But don't call yourself a believer in all of that if that doesn't actually sound like you. It's just not good. And all you determinists and nihilists out there, if you really believe what you believe, then you shouldn't care what I have to say about your beliefs for whatever reason. I mean, I have said there's no evidence for determinism, but that doesn't mean you can't believe in it. If you like believing in it and you don't care that there's no evidence, fine. I won't try to stop you, but don't try and say it's fact and then get all offended when I ask for evidence, because sorry, it's just not going to work. And if you're going to apply a label to something, at least act accordingly. I mean, come on. If you don't, it just really hurts your credibility in all aspects. Anyways, that's my little talk for the day. Till next time, be aware and be wise.